let's get right to it. So we've learned some basic finger picking patterns. So now we're going to spice our finger picking up a little bit. So here's a new pattern. So I'm going to use my thumb on the 4th string, then my thumb again on the 3rd string, then my 1st and 2nd fingers on the 1st and 2nd strings. Okay, now to stretch it out, I'm going to go back to the 3rd string. So the whole pattern looks like this. Now remember, I'm not making claws out of my fingers. They're not really rigid. They're really loose. I'm not grabbing the string underneath and pulling. I'm just brushing across it. Okay, so. So let's play through it with our typical circle of C chords. A minor, F, G7, C. Okay? Now, here is a more complicated one. Okay? I'm going to use my thumb on the 4th string. Then I'm going to do 4th and 2nd. Then I'm going to do 1st and 3rd. Then I'm going to do 2nd and 3rd. 4th and 2nd. And I'm using my thumb and 2nd finger. 1st and 3rd, and I'm using my 1st and 3rd fingers. And then 2nd and 3rd, and I'm using my 1st and 2nd fingers. So let's run through our circle of chords in C again. Right? That one's complicated. That one may take you some practice. Now, let's spice them up a little bit more with two techniques called the hammer-on and the pull-off. Now, for a hammer-on, what you have to do is you pluck a string, right? And then you hit it with your finger hard enough to get the new note, like this. So if we take kind of a G chord, which we know already, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to hammer on to this 3rd fret on the 1st string, like this. I'm just doing this. Really, it's fingered here. So, okay. Now, a pull-off is when you have your finger on the note and you lift it up, but you can't lift it straight up. You have to kind of pull down so that you actually get a sound off the string. So let's say I do this. And again, I'm pulling down. So if I go back to my G with that hammer on to the 3rd fret, which is actually a G suspended 4th, right? So I'm just playing the chord and I'm just going, I want to put this finger down. Pluck, hammer on, pull off. Okay, now you can do it really quickly. Right? And you can mix that into your finger picking patterns. So I'm just going to do this. This is a familiar one from a previous lesson. I'm going third, second, first, second, third. I'm changing to this bass note. All right. So this G chord is just ripe for that hammer-on pull-off because it sounds good. If you play guitar, use exactly this same pattern with a D chord. Okay, so you can hammer on or pull off with any finger. Right? And the gap, right? It can be one note to the next note, or it can be one note and several farther away. Right? So it's something that you can use to spice up kind of any of your chords. Like I have my A minor chord that we know about, fingered right here, and I have this finger for the F, right? Sorry, that finger right there for the F. Right? So all I'm doing is hammering on that note, which would turn the A minor into an F chord, and then pulling off again. So if I'm playing an A minor, okay? So be creative, figure out where you want to put those hammer-ons or pull-offs. You don't have to do them together. Right? I'm still just going back and forth between that A minor and that F. I'm just going to hammer on. And pull off. Right? So pluck the string, hit it, or pluck the string, have it fingered, pluck it, and pull off. Again, don't lift straight up. If you lift straight up, you can get a little sound in some cases, but you really want to pull down on that string to get a good solid sound out of it. Okay, so we've got some 2-string finger picking patterns, and we've got a couple of techniques we can use to kind of spice up our finger picking. And now, you should know what I'm going to say next. Get your ukulele and go play. Oh, by the way, you'll notice I just happened to have grabbed the ukulele with the low G on it because I was working on a song with it when I decided to record this video. But the techniques that I just gave you work just fine on the ukulele with the high G as well. Doesn't make any difference. So, get your instrument, go play, and I'll see you next time.